Guys, welcome back to Spokane Valley Archery. We are replacing this today with the brand new Mathews V3. You'll see the color, you'll see the strings. MFJJ is going to help us all the way to the end. Stick with us, we're going to fire some shots at the end and see how this brand new bow build shoots.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're getting ready to put together Tim's new bow. We've got his strings up in the stretcher, ready to put them on. We're going to head up there and get started on it. Is that pretty? That's sharp. All right.
So talk us through the steps. Step one, string goes on.
Well, you got to put each cable end on, and then when you do that with the Mathews, they had to uninstall the axle assembly. So we're putting basically the axle assembly back in with each cable, making sure they don't twist, which is why I've pulled it through your riser here, so it doesn't try to unwrap itself. Then we can hook them through their grooves and then put the string on and then put pressure back on the bow. So for first, I want to get these back on and assembled before I do anything else so I don't mess that up. So in order to tighten it, you need 2 Allen wrenches. But don't over tighten it because they're small little screw heads and they're prone to stripping.
Satisfying.
Satisfying, yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
Got it. There we go. And we're over there. So now you should just need a string. We're so tight. Serving so tight.
I like the white. I like the white.
Sharp. It is sharp.
That's super nice.
It's a clean look. Okay, so before you let your pressure off, try to draw your bow.
Yeah, tell us that.
Yeah, so if you pull on your bow and something's not in its groove, well, it's in the press, it'll pop off its groove. So pull on a little bit and check and say, okay, are my cables in my module gaps? Are my yokes in the right rollers all the way top to bottom? And they are, so then you let your... It doesn't come apart. It's typically how you tell. I used to have a couple of those that had wheels, and then I'd put nuts on them and put an impact on them. That's what's all downstairs. This is the only one I have that's still actually stock, and I'll replace that here pretty soon because it just takes so long to move it back and forth.
That's how you get them forearm gains.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and if it's just your own and it's just for your own stuff, the fact that it's manual isn't a big deal, but when you're using it 75 times a day, it's a half hour worth of time. That's a lot of wasted time.
Do you guys know that Josh sells last chance presses?
This is white.
Podiumarcher.com. I just saw a pallet arrive. Josh, what you got them easy presses for?
It's 3 pallets. We sell them online. I actually pay to have them delivered here so I can ship them immediately. So all the presses that we sell, we ship same day or next day. Let's take this downstairs and get it timed.
Yeah.
Getting my timing right. I think it just needs like 1 twist. So I start with the factory holes.
You didn't even like check the time.
I looked at the factory holes.
Okay.
So those little holes are in the side of the cam right there are concentric. So it gives you an idea. They hopefully should be in the middle. I think I need to take 1 more out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, show me that.
I'd probably look at it from this side so you can see the cable, but you gotta kind of be level with it. Get it out of your way. That's pretty good to start. We can check it in a drawboard once we get a loop on it. Anytime Tin says hold on, I immediately stop everything and just wait. Now, I'm used to it. We are getting the loop set so we can actually check the true timing, not the marks on the cams.
So I'm putting a D-loop on first to like pull the bow back and make sure it's synced.
I got my knock height to where I know it's flat with a burger buttonhole, so everything is square there. So then if you don't check your timing first, because it moves it a little bit, you gotta make sure you're off of the factory holes to set that loop height. And then from there, worst case scenario, you got maybe 1 twist, your knock height's still gonna be real close to the burger button. So when you're trying to set those things, you don't end up with a really high or a really low knock position to start. So set the timing first to the factory holes, then the loop, then check it in your drawboard.
I know you know, but
not quite. So I'm gonna move this down just a little bit. See if I can get to where it's touching on that one.
and now it's touching. And now that one's super close, but not touching. So I don't think this has got the wrong module in it anyway. I need to change that. I don't know if I can get that out, or I'm gonna just have to shoot it and see if it shoots a little knock. That's like not even a half a twist. I'll try untwisting it. I want to see what it
Point
does.
to where your stops are on this thing.
So I just stop there, and then just stop there. And this one's just barely touching, that one's just barely not. It's about as close as you're ever gonna get to an adjustment that you can't probably make. Because if you untwisted the cable, that would be, it's probably gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
It's just such a small amount. So I think I want to probably shoot the bow 5 or 10 times and check it again.
That sounds good.
See what that looks like, see if it'll settle a little bit, because I'm sure those servings are super stiff. Fire it a few times, it'll break over. But we're real close in timing, so I think it's okay to start firing the bow and, you know, get a couple arrows through it once we get an arrow rest on it.
Sounds good.
So we'll do that. No, what I think that rest is going to do is I think it's going to absolutely eliminate the hybrid. I think it's going to kill that price point. Yeah, the hybrid is their, like, kind of like their original rest. I mean, yes, they made a rest before that, but not really. I mean, they did, but they didn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, the extra bracket piece? I got to make sure we have some. I know I got some like a week or two ago, but we've been selling a lot of Mathews, so I'm not sure. Now, a normal shop that had any sense to have something that small would have it behind the counter. Kind of like field points that are in bulk, you don't put those out where people can get at them. That's a bad idea. They're going to all end up in the wrong spots. Replaces your piece here that your cord goes through.
Oh.
It's just a cleaner hookup, and I know you would appreciate clean. You are a clean guy. There's no doubt. You like clean. So.
That's what I'm trying to tell you is that Sigma release is clean.
It is. It is. And, you know, fortunately for you, I have a pink one upstairs that's still sealed that I haven't opened. That's bigger. You can go that route. I just like to set that to where when my thumb sits, it sits in the pocket there.
Yeah.
And the diameter of that wouldn't really change any of that.
Yeah.
For me.
I think I like to set it here.
Yeah. See, to me, if you don't have this part of your finger here, as your momentum's going backwards, you're not actually pulling. You're compressing your hand. And when you're compressing your hand, you can discharge your release without pulling. If you hook your thumb around the trigger, you have to pull backwards to discharge your release. So you did not look very hard at all.
No, I didn't. Couldn't you just go underneath?
Even has the slogan on it. You can go under that, but this is designed to be able to
I would rather go
through it.
that.
But I'm going to take the weight off the bow before I do it, so I'm not pushing down on that bracket.
I'm gonna time you how long it takes you to do that.
So I am out of 2 of the 4 things that go with that kit.
Yeah.
And I think at that time they had like 7 models that they did that with, so I just bought all of them.
What I like about this is,
All right.
know, like,
That's what we're looking for. Nice little easy attachment point for the
what kind of
quad.
knot are you going to do down here through the hole?
Well, since we have just a hole like that, I'll probably just tie.
Square knot or?
I don't want to slide in and out, so I'll probably treat it like a string loop and just make a string looped knot with that at one side.
Right? Yeah.
But I want to give you some cord length to work with here, so you have a little bit.
Okay.
Action.
You good?
Yeah, we're perfect.
I like this because I can pull it up real good to where it's just not going to move on anything. You know,
Cut and burn.
cut and burn, and then pull it snug up here. You got a shot?
Yeah. Nice.
Do you need the burn?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like a baller. Size Peep you want, Timmy? Probably a quarter.
Name of
Right there. That's too funny. Oh, we're gonna take that grip off.
Here you go.
Rip that grip. Sick. 3-day-old Mountain Dew. And you'll hand me some paper towels from your right there. Got this goopy stuff on everything. More goop removal.
It's hard to compete with that macro on some of that stuff.
I love Joe Rogan explaining that. He's like, let's say the number of people that listen to his podcast, let's say 1% are assholes. That's a million assholes listening to this. Like, how in the world do you not deal with that? So it's like, you're gonna get hate. Don't read it.
Are you slapping on sights yet after this? What do you want next?
Actually, I'm gonna have him shoot this a few times.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put a different mod on it because I think it's got the wrong length. We're doing 29.5, right? Yeah, he was 30. I thought.
You weren't 30-inch draw.
No.
You
Are
were
you
29 and a
29?
half, and now you're 29.
Okay. You want to get this, Tim?
Yes. How'd you get the white string? I thought you were out.
We had just enough to make one set.
It looks so good.
This looks good.
Like it's going to be very photogenic.
I just looked down at it. It looked like it was a little out of square.
Okay,
I'm not even gonna mess with it until I
You can do that.
have him fired a little bit.
Did you put a level on the rest?
Not yet. No.
You usually
I want him fire it first.
Okay.
Then I'll check the timing,
Okay.
and then I'll check the level,
Okay.
and go from there. I don't want to use the term brilliance, but people that are eccentric at something or exceptional about something tend to be a little more chaotic in their life. And I leave disasters everywhere, but I'm really good at this.
So the separation for me is anything work related has a process and a system, basically.
Yeah.
Which I dig, because he's processed my life.
We're
Just
gonna
rip,
blank
just
bail.
shoot it.
Yeah, we're just gonna blank bail.
Blank bail.
Yeah.
I think my arrow's long enough.
Are you?
Go ahead. Yeah, you will be. It's shorter than the other one, so we've got just give him a finger under. Yeah. You got a bit. You're okay. Rotate your hand. I scared you, didn't I? Okay, so I want you to pull away from my hand as you do it, okay? Nice. Shouldn't feel your elbow come into my hand at all in that scenario.
Was it good or bad?
Oh, pretty good. I didn't feel it into my hand at all.
Let's sneak a pro tip in here. What I personally don't like to aim below an animal and come up because its muscles are involved. I like to aim just at the animal
Aim high,
and
come
then
down.
maybe settle into the vitals. He's kind of aiming way into the sky. Would you encourage him to start aiming more of what he's gonna try?
I like to try to look at the target, whatever the target is, whether it's actual functional target or hunting. I like to pick where I want my arrow to go and never stop looking at that the whole time. I try to point my sight at it before I draw the bow back. I try to keep it on it as I come back into my body, because that's the least amount of movement.
Sure.
You want to wave at them first, because putting your bow up and bringing it down is literally like raising your arm up and raising it down.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
All right.
So, and if you accidentally discharge in a safe environment, you're less likely to send an arrow, to the neighbors, that sort of thing. If you accidentally discharge when you're pointed up.
Okay.
So I like to put your bow hand on the target, like pretend like there's a sight on here, and put your bow hand on the target, and keep your elbow up, and now draw the bow back. There you go. It's all right. It feels a little different. Nice. That was a lot more pressure backwards than you traditionally have.
Yeah.
How's that length feel?
I don't know. You tell me. Does it look
Well, it looks good to me. I just, at the end of the day, I can't feel it for you.
Sure. I think my weakness that I know of tends to be not enough pressure on my front hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with this, I can apply some force on the front hand.
Oh, for sure. 100%. How's that grip feel? Oh, you got that other off there.
Grip's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I dig it.
It looks like your knuckles just clearing that point, which is good.
Yeah. No, I like it.
There you go.
How's his elbow look?
Looks all right. I think we're going to have to work on some starting position things first, whenever you're comfortable, Tim. You still got some forward movement. I think we're pretty good. I think that looks probably.
What do you mean I got some forward movement?
Your bow arm goes forward a little bit when you're firing
Is
it.
that good?
Yes.
We dig it?
If it sits there solid and never moves, you're not pushing forward.
Yes. I
Right.
noticed that as I was editing my last video.
Mhm.
My first couple shots, there was like nothing. And then my last couple with the Mathews, you could see it pop out a little bit.
Yeah, as you're pushing forward. As
That's
it
the
goes
one thing
off.
I noticed that when watching you shoot, that bow just went poof. Like there's force moving forward.
Yeah, and if you
That's
don't
something
have,
that I think Dan can get better at too.
for sure. If you don't have force forward, it's hard to get it to sit. It will constantly move because you're not bracing it towards the target. You're holding it against you, and when you're holding it against you, it tends to shake. Now, I should probably throw a precursor out there. There's no wrong way to do this if you can do it the same. Usually, what we're trying to recommend is what's the easiest to duplicate.
Path
So
of
if you
least
don't,
resistance.
path of least resistance. So if you don't know how to do it or you're not confident that you're doing it right, it's a good path to go off of. But if you can pull back, point steady, and hold steady, I don't care how you look if you can do it the same. There's no wrong way if you can do it the same. These are just the easiest ways to duplicate. Point at the target. There you go, Tim. Find your target, stay on your target. There you go. Even if you have to back down to do that, I would really encourage you to do that. Now, that would go a lot easier if that knob was more forward in here.
Okay.
Less into there, because you don't have the same movement. You're putting it back here. I would put it in there, so when you are pulling around it, as you start to move back, this part of your hand moves separate from that part as you're pulling, so it's going to go off easier in there.
Okay.
So try moving it forward a little bit into that position. Cool. Well, let's put some more things on the bow.
So that's where I had it.
That's where you had it, and I'd rather see it in there. So if you rotate it forward a little bit, you can keep your hand in the same position, but hook around the thumb in there.
Okay.
All right, let's go put some stuff on here. Let's level this thing.
Is yours? So you're doing first, second, third, right? Or first, second right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
disconnect here.
First axis on my bow. I'm like,
Boom.
so he's gonna get both levels level, both axes.
You gotta be real sensitive with this thing. Get it to pop in where you want it. That's pretty close. Let me get a bubble on my arrow here. This guy, I usually end up putting it like right here, because there are not a lot of places to clamp on
Is that
it.
where we're gonna have it?
Yeah, that's where we're gonna have it. We will redo your soft nut there and come down a little bit with it. Yeah, this is not a micro one.
Okay.
This is a slide one, so you gotta kind of monkey
Is that
with
the
it a little bit.
ascent?
He has the ascent mountain light.
Mountain light, yeah. Okay.
And once you get your rail right, you don't need the third anymore. And you just check your bubble here and make it look like that one. Needs a small tweak. But we went from one model of bow to another model of bow, so it should be different. Try not to move it around too much. Triple check us. Yeah, time to put your stabs on. We're moving.
So what size peep do you think I should be using?
That size, your draw length, I'd probably lean towards a 1/4 inch, but 29.5. So he's got a longer draw length, which means his peep's farther away from his eye, so it looks smaller than yours does. So he'd probably likely go bigger. Make it as accurate as a target bow and then hunt with it, but try to make it a dimension that's functional. It's a very awkward place to try to stick an Allen wrench. Which way? That's tight and that's loosened, so this should be loosened, right? Yeah, all right.
Is that left-hand thread?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's screwing me up. I keep wanting to turn it the wrong way.
Oh, so Mathews has a back screw, and then you just
Yeah.
go into the front?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can do it separately.
On my last one, we didn't have that. Okay.
All right, then go grab a 10 degree. Hit my move bars happy. It's like, you've been standing still too long.
That 10-degree life is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we sell. Most people that make a quick disconnect do a 10%er. So the premise of this is when you're pointing at your target, your bow will tend to do a figure 8, trying to hold steady. And a 10-degree down angle kind of turns your figure 8 into like a low loop, because it's moving the weight in the lower position on your hand. So it'll typically make you steady a little more.
Can you
on
experience
target.
that right now? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it feels different. Like, you can notice it. So there is some legitimacy to it. Not everybody reacts the same way to it, but there's some definite authenticity to it.
And you run it on your own setup?
I currently don't, because I use an offset bar, because I don't want to use 2 bars. I want to use 1, because I don't want the extra weight. So I move my weight over, and that tends to balance it well. And I don't really experience that as much personally, because my mind's pretty calm. When I'm shooting, it doesn't move all that much, and I'm not really looking at it. So it doesn't make too much of a difference to me, but a lot of people really like it. Done. Paper tune it first. Yeah, we're at 29.5 right now.
Somebody asked me in the future, what's your draw length?
Yeah, it should be 29.5.
Basically 30.
Monkey grip that bow.
Let's see what that looks like. Up a little higher there, Tim. There you go. Take your time. Just make a good shot. Okay. You come in a little, up a little, just a skosh. Yeah, we're moving the rest. We know
Forward
when you're
to the
ready
left.
for your shot.
And up?
Do you need footage? I'll come back a little. Like that. And up a tiny. Probably somewhere in there. I don't want to move much more than that without playing with other stuff, but that should be pretty close.
Good.
Same deal. Yep, you're good. Okay. Went through the same spot, so it's hard to tell, but I think your tip actually went through in the right spot. Let's shoot one more.
Let's shoot the same hole, Tim.
In a different spot.
Oh, you said same thing, Josh?
Well, yeah, they didn't put it in the same hole.
Literal area.
Spice variety is a spice of life, big guy. Pick a different spot.
New hole. Let's go.
Shoot one more and then we'll probably have to trim this thing. I'm having them shoot cock feather out because I think it gives you the most clearance over this, because that's literally right where your fletchings are going by, and if you shoot cock feather up, it might touch that when it's going by. Aim a little higher this time for me too. A little higher, a little higher. All right, somewhere in there should be okay. Take it. Yeah, we're gonna have to shim it.
I'm gonna shim the top cam, right?
No, it's both.
Oh my God, learning
It's both.
something.
So on a Hoyt, it was the top because they had a yoke on the top. Now on a Hoyt, you'll do both too because they have a completely shim system.
God, that white looks good, Tim.
Little white stings. Sexy AF, man. It's looking good. It's looking good. I need a couple of smaller wrenches. I'm not sure if these are going to quite get it, but we'll find out real quick. Yeah, cool. Whole smorgasbord. No. I could use a third hand right here. This would be if I had a tail, it would be awesome. So to start,
Do you still enjoy building bows?
I do actually. I really do, which is surprising for how many years I've been doing it that I still enjoy it. But if you gave me one option of things to do, if I could sit down, like with you, for example, this is what I love to do. I love to take one person, build their bow, make it perfect for them, and send them on their way, and help them with how to hold it, how to shoot it, that sort of thing. I really love that part of my job. And at the end of the day, I want to make people better.
Yeah.
The more people I can make better, the better off the community is going to be. Yeah, I'm putting different ones in there to where we're moving it this way a bit now. And that's why I asked you to hold it. It makes that a lot easier. Actually, if you figure out which way you're off, it's really not that bad. It is a little easier with a B hammer, little brass hammer, so it doesn't dent anything or scratch anything. And if you get it kind of close and start tapping, it'll fall in. Yep, on the top. The third hand strikes again.
We did get some epic footage while you left outside.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The snow coming? Because it will look sharp. Thank you, third hand. You're good. All right. Once you get them shot in a little bit, they groove a little better, and they contour a little better. But right out of the gate. Yes, yes, yes. It's on the module. All right. Arrow release, buddy. Yeah, we reversed it.
Come on, Tim. Give me that bullet hole.
It's pretty close already, so I think this will probably do us, but we'll see. Now that the pressure's on, all the nerves are in there. Now you're a little right still. I'm willing to bet if you shoot that again, it's probably clean. You probably healed it a little. So I think we should do here, let's get the peep tied and set for you. Okay. So you can put some shots through the bow and get a little more comfortable with it, and then we'll come back to checking the paper again. Because the first 20, 30 shots out of this, your hand grip's probably gonna vary a little bit because it's different than what you were used to. So I don't want to get too particular here. I want to know we're in the ballpark to where small adjustments are going to correct it. But I want to make sure they're the right adjustments. So let's get a peep tight on here. Get your 20 figured out so you can send some arrows down range, and then we'll work on Dan's bow while you're getting some arrows through the bow.
Nice.
Right. Do you want a glow-in-the-dark peep sight?
Whatever you recommend.
Well, let's pink because your release is going to be pink. So why don't we follow a theme here? But, all right, we need to draw back and get an anchor. Give me a coupon code. So point up this time, don't point downhill. I just want you to anchor. And
Up a lot.
yeah. No, I just start. Okay, more?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it on the 20 or whatever?
We're gonna
it's
run
supposed
out
to be
of.
on 20?
That's your up.
You're close, but it could go up just a smidge. That's probably the spot.
Okay, go ahead and set the bow down. Don't fire it, because Peep might go out. Oh yeah, feel that 85. Now give it a second.
Is it 85
Do one of these,
pounds?
85%.
No.
That's only a 70 mod. It's max though, so I bet you're probably 72, 73 right now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You're right in the ballpark, man.
All right, cool.
Fired or?
I wouldn't fire it just 'cause we don't want the peep to come out. Let me tie your peep in, and then we can fire it to our little heart's content. You have more than one arrow with a field point in it, you're probably gonna want more than one arrow with a field point in it. You're gonna do a lot of walking. Let's see, I'll just use this yellow. So because of how high this is, I'm gonna serve this a little differently than I normally would. I'm gonna do a little hand serve, slide it up, and then knot over the top of this so it can't come off. Because it doesn't look exactly like I would want it to, but I don't want to cut into that. Pull those. I do. Uno twist. Well, you have to twist the side farthest away from the peep, because if you try to twist here, it would be like 3/4 of a twist. You gotta twist away from where the peep is to make it. No, if you're trusting the string on a dual cam bow or an equal but opposite eccentric, it will not affect the timing. If you pull on a cable individually, it will. Run about 10 arrows through that. That sight's probably gonna need to come in a tiny bit.
It's a good looking setup.
It is, it really is. I think you'll be real happy with it.
All right, guys, we finally got this baby done. Mathews V3, black on black, yellow strings. This is basically the MFJJ special. Flow yellow, white strings, Hamsky Trinity rest, black gold ascent mountain sight. What size did we do on the peep?
Went to a 1/4 for your draw length, and the front housing, it matched up really good once we got it back. It just frames perfectly. We had to give the string one twist to get that peep to come around right, and after we did our little shim adjustment here, tiny little rest position adjustment, got a clean hole, shooting really good downrange. It's phenomenal.
Shimmed it, moved the rest. We're shooting bullet holes. We're on at 20. I'm honestly exhausted. I've shot a lot of arrows. And
Yeah, I put in a lot of arrows today.
Yeah, I need to get stronger. I need to shoot more. This is a good reason to do that. I'm excited. I just wanted to get a good bow, something I can trust, and Mathews is a great brand. Support your local archery shops. Josh has a new website, podiumarcher.com. Thanks for being here, guys. Do us a favor, if you dig this archery content, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and we will catch you back here for the next one.